Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that pass! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to Champions League Game Week 3. The game that we're bringing you is from the Emirates Stadium this evening as Arsenal take on Atletico Madrid. And with around about 2 minutes to go until kick-off, the team... Great, let me do that. So I'm going to run you through the two lineups now. And the Arsenal lineup is David Raya between the sticks. The back four is Jurrien Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Martin Zubimendi and Declan Rice are the men in midfield. Eberici Eze is in the 10 position. Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli, are playing just behind Victor Gyökeres. As for the visitors, it's Oblak in goal. Then we have Llorente, Jimenez, Lenormand, and also the left back Hanko as well. We've got Simeone, Barrios, Koke, and Gonzalez. Then we have Sorloth and Alvarez leading the line. The officials are, we've got Davide Massa from Italy, the referee. And he is assisted by Filippo Meli and Stefano. There's the guy's name now. It was on here somewhere. Stefano. Can't read his name there now. I'll get back to that in a second. But fourth official is Matteo Marcanera. VAR is Daniel Chifi, assisted by Jerome Brissard. And then Nuno Pereira de Castro is a UEFA observer. And Nut Bjorn is the delegate. I will get back to that other official in a second as well once I can find out where I put my other bit of information for that one. But you are listening, of course, to the Commentary Hub and Storm FM for this coverage. The two teams are just about to get us underway in a second or two from now, as Diego Simeone shakes the hand of Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta there, just in front of me. He's also going off to shake the hands of, I think it might have been Gabriel Heinze or Albert Stuivenberg as well, from the Arsenal backroom staff. Looks like we're not sure who's going to get us underway. I don't think the referee really knows at the moment. I think it's going to be Eberici Eze for Arsenal. It is. The home side about to get us underway. Of course, the Gunners are unbeaten in this competition so far, winning 2 from 2, both by 2-0 against Athletic Club and also last time out as well. And Atletico Madrid lost to Liverpool by 3-2 in their opening game, but they won quite convincingly in game week 2. Hope everyone is doing well today as we're just underway now. Got about 30 seconds on the clock. It is Arsenal 0, Atletico Madrid 0 on this commentary. And it's with Declan Rice there. And here's Saliba. Here's Jurrien Timber now, the right fullback, the Dutch international. Saliba to Gabriel. Miles Lewis-Skelly in at left back to replace Calafiori today. And a couple of changes for Arsenal. Leandro Trossard also on the bench. He was dropped out from the weekend's game against Fulham, where he scored the winner. And Gabriel Martinelli is replacing him for this one. I'll run you through the full list of substitutes shortly, as Arsenal have possession here now and just win a free kick. There's a foul there on Martin Zubimendi. I'll run you through the full bench whilst we've got a second in play. So the Arsenal substitutes are 2 goalkeepers, Kepa Arrizabalaga and Tommy Setford. Christian Mosquera, Piero Hincapié and Ben White are also on the bench with Calafiori, Norgard, Trossard, as I mentioned before, Ethan Wanyeri and Mikel Merino. No Max Diamond on the bench. He was actually featuring for the Arsenal under-19s earlier on today. Here's Bukayo Saka now. Now with Declan Rice. Plays it forward onto Jurrien Timber. Into the area Timber goes, and he does well, but goes behind for a goal kick in the end. 2 minutes played, and it's still remaining Arsenal 0, Atletico Madrid 0. Two sides that are in really good form actually as well. Arsenal are 8 unbeaten in all competitions, whilst Atleti are 7 unbeaten in all of theirs, including some big results this season as well. They absolutely thrashed rivals Real Madrid earlier on in this league campaign in the Liga by 5-2. And obviously Arsenal have had a few good results themselves, including the win at Fulham at the weekend, beating Manchester United, beating Newcastle as well away from home, and obviously have a few defeats in there. One defeat in there, I should say, the Liverpool defeat for Arsenal, and Atletico have also lost to Liverpool, but they lost one other game as well. I think it was one game in the Liga that they've been beaten. Here's Bukayo Saka now. Into the area he goes. It's out of play there. There's no Martin Odegaard for Arsenal, so Bukayo Saka is wearing the armband once again, as he did at the weekend. That's a good play from Jurrien Timber there. He nipped in and then fed the ball to Saka. He tried to get the ball into the area, but it's good defending from Atleti as well. And it was the number 6 Koke in the end who did his job very well. And it's with the Athletic defence now, and it's the number 17 Hanko, the left fullback, onto Le Normand. In fact, it wasn't Le Normand, it was Jimenez. He's giving it away there. Here's Martinelli, and now Victor Gyökeres onto Eze. Eberiche Eze is going to get a shot away, takes a deflection, and it's off the crossbar, and the rebound is put over there from Declan Rice. But good play from Arsenal. Eberiche Eze does well and gets the effort on goal, takes a wicked deflection off of the Athletic man. I'm trying to think who it was. I just said it back. It might have been the Normand, in fact. Let's have a look here who it was. It was, I couldn't quite see there, the number 11 actually, I think. In fact, not the number 11, the number 17, I should say, which was Hanko. And then the rebound was fired over the top of Oblak's goal from Declan Rice. But good start from the Gunners, playing with some real intensity early on here. Here is Jurrien Timber now. In fact, the referee's pulled it up for what looks like an offside. And Diego Simeone there, just trying to get some meshes across to his troops. Got a few people messaging me to say that they're listening in as well, so thank you very much for all your support, for anyone that is tuning in tonight. Got 5 minutes on the clock and it's still remaining goalless in this one. But if you want to drop us a message, you can do so in the comment section. I will get to them as well when I can. Any comments that are left in the comment section, and we can have a bit of a debate and discussion on how the game is going. But here is Lewis Skelly now. On to Martinelli. What can he do here? He does well. In fact, he's been pulled up for an offside there. In fact, I think the ball's actually gone out of play, in fact, there. So it might actually be a throw. Yeah, it is going to be a throw-in. It's going to be Atletico to knock it around. He's given away. And Mendy's battling well there for Arsenal, but it's now with Sorloth. He's given that one away though. In fact, he wins a free kick. I think it might have been one of the central midfielders in the end that got to it. And Miles Lewis-Kelly makes a foul. Let's see who it was. It was actually a foul on the number 20, Simeone, which of course is the gaffer's son. One of two sons that he's got, both involved in football these days, both at Atleti, I think, as well. And of course, this one certainly is. It's a big feature for them as well in the League and Champions League campaigns. And here he is again now, involved as well. It's David Raya for Arsenal. Here is William Saliba now. Now, Martin Zubimendi. What can he do here? The Spanish international plays it on to Jurrien Timber and back to Zubimendi again. Here's Saliba, now Zubimendi once more. Plays it across to Timber, but good defending there from Nico. And they win a throw there to Atleti. Bukayo Saka getting the last touch on that one. Coming up to 8 minutes on the board, and it's still remaining goalless. Here is Declan Rice for Arsenal. Now Saka, now Eze, now Zubimendi, now Saka. There's been a goal, by the way, in Champions League action, and PSG have taken the lead in their match against Bayer Leverkusen. We'll run you through some updates when we get them. That was Pacho, the goal scorer there in that match. Here's Saka now for Arsenal in this one, though. Does well, whips it in, and it's headed clear in the end, but only as far as Gabriel, and a bit of a miscued shot there, and just goes straight to Atletico, but then it's given straight back to Arsenal again, and I don't think either team really wants the ball right now, just kind of giving it to each other and then sort of back and forth, but it's now Simeone though, and he's giving it to Timber, and now Saliba. Now Timber once more. Bit of possession for Arsenal, but then tries to find Martinelli there, but it's well defended from the Normans. And Atletico have it here now with the number 23, Nico. Tries to find the number 17, Hanko, and then number 8 there, Barrios involved too. I'll tell you who that assistant referee was as well when I get that in a second. But at the moment, it's still remaining Arsenal 0, Atletico Madrid 0. The first 9.5 minutes played. Just a few of these Atletico players and players on the bench have experience of Champions League and Premier League as well. Of course, Griezmann being an international and a fantastic one at that with France. He scored his 200th goal in their last game in the competition. Fantastic player that he is. Alvarez, of course, as well. A lot of people familiar with him from the Premier League and his time at Manchester City. Also, Conor Gallagher was amongst the Atletico subs. Spent a bit of time in England with Chelsea amongst many teams that he's been involved in. And their bench, incidentally, as I just see Andrea Bertha there in front of me. There's Musso, Ruggery, Longley, Molina, Mark Pupil, Javi Gallen, Gallagher, Alex, Griezmann, Almada, Carlos Martin and Raspadori was the Athletic bench. Here's Declan Rice now. Welcome into anyone that's just joining. Feel free to leave us a message in the comment section and I will read them out and we can have a bit of a chat on the game. Good to get some interaction between myself and you guys. Here's William Saliba now. Here's Jurrien Timber. On to Emirates Stadium and good defending there from Atleti. It was the number 2, Jimenez, as well that time. Here's Eze. Now Timber. Saliba. Gabriel. Because Arsenal have a formidable defensive record, and it doesn't really matter who plays at the back for Arsenal. Whether it's Ben White playing, or Urian Timber playing, or Calafiori or Miles Lewis-Skelly. It sort of doesn't really make a lot of difference in terms of that Arsenal defence, and they always tend to shut up shop really, really well. Don't really give many teams a sniff. The last 2 games that Arsenal have faced, Saturday against Fulham, and the previous match before that as well, the opponent didn't even test David Raya at all. So he's had a light work. He's had a bit of light work recently. He hasn't really had a lot to do in the last couple of games. I think you'll probably see a bit more of him today, though. As Oblak has possession here now for Atleti. The goalkeeper there in all green. Of course, Atleti are playing in their blue away kit today, and Arsenal in the famous red and white, which you would come to expect with them playing in the Emirates. And here is number 19 now, Alvarez. Atleti got a bit of possession here now. Here's Sorloth. Out wide it goes to number 14, Llorente. Gets the cross in, and it's into the gloves of David Raya. One of quite a few Spanish internationals that are involved in Arsenal, and we'll know the Spanish league and the Spanish style of play very well, as will Martin Zubimendi as well, and Mikel Moreno, who's on the bench, and probably may feature at some stage later on in the game. Because Arsenal have Premier League action this weekend as well against Crystal Palace, who are doing well themselves. And we'll have some action for you from the Premier League on Friday night with Paul James. He's going to be bringing Leeds against West Ham on the commentary hub. So do give Paul your time if you can on Friday night. We're going to have a game from the Championship as well, which is going to be brought to you on the TC Hub channels across the next few days, which is Sheffield Wednesday against Middlesbrough. That's going to be brought to you on either tomorrow night or Thursday on delay. We're not too sure yet. Here is Eze. Now Lewis-Skelly gets a shot away, and it's just dragged wide there of Oblak's goal, but good play from Arsenal once again as Mikel Arteta goes to have a word with Albert Stuyvenberg and Gabriel Heinze. Of course, Heinze won the league himself with Manchester United back in the 2008-9 season. It looks like from the training pictures that I saw yesterday and videos that I saw, he was well involved in the training side of things too, and really enjoying himself alongside Mikel Arteta. They were having a real laugh of things yesterday in training, which is good to see. And here is the number 19, Alvarez now. Good defending in the end. See it through by Urian Timber. Now Saka back to David Raya. And tries to find Gyökeres, but well defended by Jimenez. And now number 6, Koke, the captain. There's Athletic just playing it around here. And now Arsenal get it back through Saka. Now Victor Gyökeres hasn't really started Arsenal's season off brilliantly. He has got a couple of goals. He scored obviously a brace against Leeds, and he has scored I think one more as well. But the Arsenal striker hasn't hit the ground running as many expected as of yet. I'm sure that will come for him. Now Athletic in possession. With the number 19 Alvarez. And now Barrios involved, and now Jimenez. Now Alvarez again, now Barrios again, and it's a good play here from Athletic. Are they going to get a shot away? They aren't. Still got possession though. And it's the number 8. Barrios once more out to the right hand side and give it away in the end. Bit of a wasted bit of possession there, as Arsenal have it now with Eberechi Eze. scored on international duty, of course, for England just the other week. Bukayo Saka scored as well against the Welsh in the match before that. So Gunners are firing on the international stage as well as sitting pretty top of the Premier League right now. Quite a good season for the home side here so far, especially with the Liverpool result at the weekend when they lost surprisingly at Anfield to Manchester United by 2-1 in the game which you would have heard on the channel by Paul James again. Here's Zubimendi now and Saliba. 17 played. It's still goalless here. Arsenal 0, Atletico Madrid 0. And it's Martin Zubimendi, now Gabriel and now Saliba. On to Yuri and Timber. Back to Saliba again. Playing it around here at the back. Here's Zubimendi. Zubimendi across to Saliba and now Timber there. Tries to find Saka, does well. Gets it back to Yuri and Timber. What can he make of this? It's now Eza. And Timber's in there. Timber's going to get a tackle on him though. And it's now back with Atletico again. And it's the number 9 Thorloff there. Does well. Keeps possession and plays it back to Barrios, who is hustled well there by Yuri and Timber. But the Arsenal right back does give away the free kick in the end. I'll have a look at some of the other scores for you shortly. I know we've got Champions League action. We've also got action across the Championship and across the EFL trophies today. As there's been a goal in the Villarreal Manchester City game. And it is Manchester City that have taken the lead. I don't even have to tell you who scored it because I'm sure you already know. The man that's scoring pretty much all the time at the moment, Erling Haaland on the score sheet once again. The City are leading out in Spain. Here's Saliba now. Here's Eza. Plays it across to Saka. Saka's in here. What can he do? A good bit of goalkeeping there from Oblak to deny him. Saka's gone down, but definitely no foul. Really good goalkeeping. Just stayed big and strong. And here is number 6, Koke now for Madrid. And Oblak's down now. He's got a bit of an injury there after that collision with Bukayo Saka. Came out and did really, really well. You know, as I say, he stood big, stood strong to deny the England international there from getting through. Good ball to him from Emirates Stadium as well. And Saka just tried to put it past him, but really good goalkeeping from Jan Oblak there. Just contacted his shoulder in the end, but just going to hopefully, see what's going to happen here. But hopefully he'll be all right still to carry on. But as I say, really good goalkeeping. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be fine. Two managers there just getting some instructions across to their respective teams, and that was a bit of a wasted ball out there. It's now just been given away completely to Arsenal, and here's Timber to Eza now. Back to Yuri and Timber again. On to William Saliba. And Arsenal just playing it around here quite comfortably right now, without exerting themselves. As we just entered the 20th minute, and there's still been only that one real chance from Arsenal, which obviously took the deflection and came off the bar. There was the one from Bukayo Saka just now as well, but they're the only two real moments for the Gunners so far. Atletico haven't really tested David Raya right now. Here's Declan Rice, here's Timber. Of course, that will probably change at some stage with the threats that Atletico have, including those on the bench with the likes of Raspadori and Griezmann, who are big threats and big players. Here's David Raya now. Eza. Given away. Now that was Koke and then Lenormand and then I think it was Barrios involved too. There's been another goal in the Champions League and it's in the game between Copenhagen and Dortmund, and it's Nemecha that has scored for Dortmund as they lead 1-0. There's been a few goals around. They're all away goals actually so far. PSG scoring, they're away from home. Dortmund are away, they're leading. City are away, they're leading as well. So all of the goals that are going in seem to be for the away sides at the moment in time. In this competition at least. Here is the number 17 now, which was Hanko, and then Arsenal have it back though. Now Bukayo Saka. Arteta wants a free kick there. The referee says no though, and Atletico are playing with it in midfield, and is Koke. And now Jimenez, and Koke gets it back. In fact, it wasn't Jimenez, it was actually, I think it might have been Lenormand. And here's Jimenez now, though, as I speak. Barrios gives it away to Saka. What can Saka do here? And tries to be a bit too cocky, really, with that one, and then loses out. As Atletico have it round at the back now. Of course, you're listening to the Commentary Hub's coverage of Arsenal and Atletico Madrid in the Champions League Game Week 3. And here is Sola for Madrid, and it's into the area, but out it goes from Gabriel Magalhaes, Brazilian centre-back. He scored the winner at Newcastle a few weeks ago himself from the trusted set pieces. We haven't seen any of those for Arsenal yet in the opening 23 minutes though. They haven't had a chance to get any deliveries into the box as of yet from corners, etc. But I'm sure that will come at some stage as the chance there for Sorloth and given away, but they still get it back in the end. Now it's 24. Lenormand in possession. Forced back to his goalkeeper. And here's Oblak. He's going to take a few extra touches. Now Gabriel, and now as they wanted it, but given away. And the number 6 there, okay. Here's Barrios now. And Atletico just playing it around at the back. See whether they can break this Arsenal defence down. Here's the number 23 now, which was Nico, and it's given away. Here's David Raya. Going to try and see it out. Oh, that was a bit of a tricky one there. David Raya got caught out there. And they're going for it. Atletico. That was unlucky that from Atletico. David Raya got caught out there. He was in no man's land for a second. And it was, in the end, a real bit of sloppy play. Atletico end up getting the throw. And they take it quickly while David Raya is still a bit stranded. He's still trying to make his way back. And the throw-in is thrown into, I think it might have been the number 19, Alvarez, who looks up there, tries to see, what David Raya is doing, tries to pick his spot, but just fortunately for Arsenal, that nestles wide. But yeah, David Raya, very, very fortunate there, very lucky man. Here is Bukayo Saka now there for Arsenal. Here's Victor Gyökeres. Now Yuri and Timber. Saliba and Gabriel just combining. Here's Declan Rice. Gabriel again. Now William Saliba, the French international, once more. And here's Gabriel. Now Declan Rice here. Out he goes to Miles Lewis-Skelly, that was. Lewis-Skelly here for Arsenal is going to get a chance to play it back to Declan Rice, and he plays it into Gyökeres, and now with Martinelli. Now Timber. Jurriën Timber's looking to get a shot away, and he does, but it's a weak one into the gloves of Oblak. Very comfortably as well. But good play again from Arsenal. Good build up, and then a weak effort from Urian Timber. Pretty much more of a pass back than an actual shot there with the kind of power that he didn't get behind that. Here is Lewis Skelly now, and it's now given away though. And here is number 8 Barrios, and now Atletico looking to move the ball forward into the area. It goes from this cross out from the right hand side, but goes behind. There's Alvarez again. Coming up to 27 minutes played now, and we're still yet to have that opening goal. It's Arsenal 0, Atletico Madrid 0. And here is Arsenal in possession again with Timber. Timber on to Saka. Saka to Eza. Eza to Saka. Saka in again to Timber once more. Here's Victor Gyökeres, does well. Holds it up very nicely, and then he knocks it back to Timber again. Saliba now. Now it's with Gabriel, and now Declan Rice. Here is Gabriel Martinelli on the left-hand side. Can you get a cross in here? And it's good defending from Gonzalez, from Jimenez, sorry, I should say. There's a free kick in there, is there? No. The referee says play on as Atletico have it here through Alvarez once more up against Gabriel. Got to stay strong as Gabriel. Alvarez does well. Still got it here. Knocks it back to Barrios. And still Atletico have it. And finally it's into the gloves of David Raya there. But Alvarez involved once more. And Arsenal got caught out a bit there. As I mentioned earlier, they do have a very strong defensive pedigree. But Gabriel there and Saliba both a little bit caught out. But in the end, it came to nothing. Here's Saliba now. Now, Zubimendi. Here's William Saliba once more. Now Eza. Now Saliba. What can he do? He tries to find Martinelli. That's a great ball cross. A really good delivery up against Llorente. And now with Miles Lewis Skelly. And there's a man going down there for Arsenal with Victor Gyökeres, but the referee says nothing doing. It probably will get checked by VAR, but at the moment it's with Arsenal and Zubimendi on Timber. We'll have to see that on second viewing, that Victor Gyökeres one just now, whether there's anything in that or not. Didn't really look at it on first viewing. Here's Timber. Good defending there from number 24, Lenormand, to put it over the top for a corner. We will probably see if there's anything with this Victor Gyökeres one in a minute. But it was good play from Arsenal just after that. Don't think there's anything in this for Victor Gyökeres, although they are having a chat about it, I think. We'll see whether there's going to be any change in the on-field decision. Doesn't look likely though now. See it here. It was whipped in by Timber, and then there's a collision between the number 2 Jimenez and Victor Gyökeres, but no malice in that. So I don't think that was a penalty, and I think the referee has got that right on his call. But there's more of a little bit of something going off between Miles Lewis Skelly and the Atletico Madrid man. I don't know who it was there, I couldn't quite see. But Lewis Skelly ended up on the deck. And we're still remaining goalless. 30 minutes played. In fact, just coming into the 31st, as I say that. Timbers in there, Saka, and there's another man down again, another Arsenal man down. Martinelli went down that time, but still referee says nothing's doing, and playing on again, and it's out for an Arsenal throw. There's a few little Arsenal, a few Arsenal players going down at the minute, I should say, in the area, but nothing doing on any of 3 of those given passages of play. Here is Saliba now, and now Mendy just kind of sitting there in the centre back position for a second, whilst Gabriel makes his way back. Arsenal have it here now with Declan Rice. And now Urian Timber. What can he do here? He's got the possession and he's going to play it to Saliba there. On to Gabriel, and now Saliba once more. On to Timber again. And he's going to play it around there into Saliba. And Arsenal just kind of knocking it around. And just trying to keep a bit of possession, I think. But then I say that, and then Timber gives it away. So the trusted curse of the commentator strikes as it usually does. But yeah, Arsenal get it back, and it's a throw-in which Timber's going to take. Got some Champions League action next week as well, with Liverpool against Real Madrid. In fact, it's not next week, it's the following week, the week after. We'll bring you that, I'm sure, at some point. Chelsea, Barcelona at the end of November too. Another one which we might look at bringing you. Here's Victor Gyökeres now. Does well, goes down against Jimenez there. Wins a free kick. And the first yellow card there as well for the Athletic number 2. Excuse me. Right decision as well. There is definitely a foul there as Jimenez just body checks Victor Gyökeres. The Arsenal man just gets through, and yeah, that is definitely 100% a foul. By the way, that assistant referee was Stefano Alacio, one that I couldn't quite read off my notes. He's also assisting the referee David Massa, as well as Filippo Meli today. There's been another goal in the Champions League, and it's Newcastle this time that are 1-0 up in their game against Benfica, and the goal is by Anthony Gordon on 32 minutes. So we've had the first home goal in the Champions League so far. It's scored by Anthony Gordon of Newcastle, leading that one 1-0. Bukayo Saka is over this free kick now. Coming up to 35 minutes on the board. As the Arsenal man looks to get his delivery right here. The referee's just having a word with a few players there. A bit of a melee. Well, not a melee, but a bit of a collision, sorry, between Miles Lewis-Skelly and... Couldn't quite see who the Athletic man was. It's whipped in, so it's gone short in the end, but Arsenal still have it. In fact, it's given away now, and now number 14, Llorente, tries to find Alvarez, but good play from David Raya. No nonsense, and Arsenal have it back here with... In fact, what's the referee done there? I think he's pulled it up for an offside in the end. In fact, it wasn't offside, it was a throw-in. Atletico have it here now, and it's... Pass is completed, by the way, 188 to 141 in Arsenal's favour. And they have it here now too. Here's Zubimendi onto Saka. Bukayo Saka opens his body up, gets a shot away, and it's got in! But the flag's up. It was turned in by Gabriel Martinelli in the end. But, and it will get checked by VAR to see whether this stands or not. There's a man down here, which was Nico for Atleti as well. It was turned in by Martinelli in the end. There's a collision there between Zubimendi and Nico, and Bukayo Saka does well, and it's turned in by Martinelli, but looks pretty much in all the world to me that that's going to be disallowed. But we will get a bit of confirmation when I know for sure. Saka did really well though up against Jimenez, and he got the beating of that man on the right-hand side at this moment in time as well. Yeah, that goal rightly chalked off. As we have another goal, and it's another goal for an away side in the Champions League. In fact, we had 2 goals in the same game. PSV and Napoli have both scored. And that's now just turned from 0-0 to 1-1 in the space of under a minute there. And PSV and Napoli. As this one is getting closer to half-time. 37 played, and it's Arsenal 0, Atletico Madrid 0 as we speak. And it's now with Sorloth, and now the number 19 Alvarez, and Arsenal thought they had it back there fairly, but they don't. It's a free kick there on number 8 Barrios by Martin Zubimendi. And so now number 17 Hanko tries to play it down the line, and it's a foul there from Zubimendi on 23 Nico. Getting a bit physical this game now. Kind of a bit scrappy as well in patches. Yeah, it's 100% a free kick. Probably no more than a free kick. I don't see Zubimendi getting a booking as of yet. In fact, yes, he did. The referee has pulled out a yellow on Zubimendi, and probably fair as well. So that's the second booking of the game, one for each side now. Both fair yellow cards in my book. As Atletico have a free kick now. And it's now number 19 Alvarez, came closest to the goal for Atletico so far. It's Saka. What can he do here? He gets it cleared in the end. There's Vixi Gyökeres. But only as far as Eze and Saka, and now Martinelli. As well there to win the throw for Arsenal. Because Gabriel Martinelli has already scored a couple of goals in the competition so far this season. And he was offside there. Not by a lot, but he was offside. So that one is rightly chalked off. But he had obviously scored in game week 1 and game week 2 of the competition. Game week 2, he came off the bench and scored, and was also involved in the Leandro Trossard goal as well. I got an assist for that one. Against Olympiacos, I believe. Here is Gabriel now, and now Zubimendi. Now Eze. Eze for Arsenal. 1-2. Gyökeres, and now not Gyökeres, sorry. I mean Martinelli. Now Rice. And it's gone behind there. Declan Rice on the floor, but it's gone behind for a goal kick. Well defended by the number 14 Llorente. We come up to the closing stages of this first half, and there's still remaining Arsenal 0, Atletico Madrid 0, with about 4.5 minutes of normal time to play, and then probably a minute or two of additional at the end. Can't see it being any more than that. Actually, I haven't really had any stoppages in play. And it's with Eze. Now, the free kick there for Atleti again. There's Nico that's gone down and Eze involved, but the Arsenal man pulled up there for a free kick. If you want to know some of the other scores, I'll run you through them at half time, as well as the Champions League games. I'll have a look into some of the Championship games that are going on, and also some of the games that are happening across the board. And of course, there's other footballing news as well. Sean Dyche officially appointed Nottingham Forest boss today. It's going to be an interesting one to see what happens there. And of course, earlier on, there were games that took place, and Barcelona thrashed Olympiacos 6-1 in one of those, with Fermin Lopez going himself a hat-trick. Also, Lamine Yamal on the score sheet, and a brace for Marcus Rashford as well, as they won 6-1 against Olympiacos there. El Kaabi scoring for Olympiacos, who also had Hessa sent off from one of the games earlier on this evening. You see the Athletic crowd there, very well supported. You know, they're very well supported our Athletic, and you can see that there from the fans they've brought over. And they just fires that one over the top. There's a free kick in the build-up anyway. Just, have a look at some of these other Champions League scores briefly. PSG are now 2-1 up against Leverkusen, and it's a bit of a fiery game, that one. Andrik and Zabani have both been sent off. And it's Pacho that gave PSG the lead. Alex Garcia equalising the penalty spot, and then Desiree Doué has just given them a 2-1 advantage. Copenhagen and Dortmund is now 1-1, with Anton scoring an own goal to equalise the Mecha strike. Newcastle still lead by Anthony Gordon's goal to 0. PSV are 2-1 up against Napoli. Got McTominay on the score sheet for Napoli. And then Gwen Guiano scored an own goal, and then Saibara give PSV a 2-1 advantage. Man City are now 2-0 up, and it's Bernardo Silva that's grabbed the second there after Erling Haaland scoring earlier. Also, Inter Milan are leading 1-0 with Denzel Dumfries on the score sheet. There's a free kick here in this one. It's a free kick to Atleti in a dangerous position. I'll tell you some of these other scores in a minute as well from the Championship and from the National League Cup and the National League, as well as what looks like an absolute cracker in the group stages of the EFL Trophy. With my other team, Stevenage, are 4-2 up against Crystal Palace under 21s. A couple of goals there from Phoenix Patterson and Jovan Malcolm also on the score sheet for Borough too. There's an effort there just wide of the goal from this free kick by Alvarez. And the Stevenage game is pretty much at its conclusion almost. Lewis Orford grabbing a brace of assists as well. This Stevenage debut. Here is William Saliba now in this one though, as I'm getting back to this, and now Zubimendi. Gabriel, now Zubimendi, now Bryce, sorry. Now Timber. Now Bukayo Saka, as we're entering the 45th minute here. And Saka's gone down holding his face. But we're into 1 minute of additional time. And Saka's going to need a bit of treatment here. So whilst Saka's getting that treatment, I'll have a look at the Stevenage game again just to see if there's any update. It's still 4-2. King and Rodney were Palace's goal scorers. There was also an own goal in there from Lee as well to give Stevenage the lead. 10 changes for Borough from the 1-0 defeat at Lincoln at the weekend. They've rotated well there ahead of the home fixture against Bradford on Saturday after Borough. Got a good result as well, as we're now about 15 seconds away from half time. And here's Lewis Skelly. Here's Barrios now. We'll have a bit longer, I think, for that Saka stoppage. Now with Oblak. Because got caught out there as he puts that one out for an Arsenal throw. Now Saka from that throw from Declan Rice. Here's Rice now again onto Zubimendi. Can Arsenal get a goal here? It's Martinelli. It's going to be a corner here for Arsenal. Probably just about have time to get it to take it, will they? Let's see. Put into the area from Zubimendi. Martinelli does well there, as does Barrios too, the defending man for Madrid. He goes behind for a corner. In fact, you're not going to get to see that. It is half time now, and it is Arsenal 0, Atletico Madrid 0 at the break. And just before I go off and have my break for myself, I'll run you through a few more of these scores from the Champions League. PSG are 3-1 up now, by the way. Kvaratskhelia has made it 3-1 in their game against Leverkusen. Also, Milan are now 2-0 up as well. Martinez scoring in that one against our Union SG. In the Championship, Blackburn are 1-0 up against Sheffield United. 0-0 between Derby and Norwich. 2-0 Hull against Leicester. 0-0 Ipswich and Charlton. 2-0 Millwall Stoke. 1-0 to Coventry away at Portsmouth. 1-0 to Birmingham away at Preston. And it's 1-1 between Bristol City and Southampton. In League One, it's Reading and Northampton that are playing today, and that is 0-0. It's Swindon 1, Notts County 1 in League 2. In the National League, it's Boston 0, Morecambe 2, Eastleigh 0, Scunthorpe 0, and York 1, Boreham Wood 1. And in the National League Cup, Solihull 1, Blackburn 0, Brackley 0, Everton 0, Tamworth 1, Burnley 0, Braintree 2, West Brom 2, Forest Green and Leicester. I can't get that one at the moment. It's Willstone 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Aldershot 3, Southampton 3, Sutton 2, West Ham 2, Truro 2, Brighton 0, Woking 2, Fulham 0, Halifax 3, Leeds 0. A hat-trick for Devonport in that one. Gateshead 1, Sunderland 1 as well. And in the EFL Trophy, Barnsley 5, Manchester United 2. Stevenage has scored a fifth as well, and it was scored by Lewis Orford. So it is 5-2 to the Borough against Palace, as it was in the fixture against Palace under 21s, not last season, but the season prior as well for Borough. And Barnet 1, Cambridge 2. And also, we've got loads more scores here, which I'll try and pick out one or two more from the Champions League, see if we've had any updates on that. PSG are now 4-1 up, and it was Douay once again. But no, bar that, I think I'm going to take a break. But in this game, it's Arsenal 0, Atletico Madrid 0. Arsenal had a couple of chances off the crossbar. One of them was deflected onto the crossbar early on. There was one that was well saved. Bukayo Saka came through by Oblak as well. There was a good opportunity for the away side as Alvarez's effort was put wide as well. But bar that, it's been quite a cagey affair so far, quite an even affair. And I'm going to go and take a few minutes for myself here, grab myself a drink, and come back ready for the second half. So, hope you enjoying the commentary so far here on the Commentary Hub and Storm FM. And I'll be back in approximately 5 or 10 minutes with the start of the second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to the TC Hub coverage of Arsenal against Atletico Madrid from the UEFA Champions League. The two teams will be back up again shortly, but in the meantime just thought I'd hop on and just prepare myself ready as the two sides are just in the tunnels now. And I'll run you through the two lineups again in a second. Just a little drink there as well whilst waiting. Soft drink, of course. Two teams and the officials are coming back out now. So the Arsenal lineup from the first half was Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis, Kelly, Zubimendi, Rice, Eza, Saka, Martinelli and Gyökeres. Doesn't look like there's going to be any subs as of yet. I will confirm those. So any changes to that. And Athletic started with a lineup of Oblak, Llorente, Jimenez, Lenormand, Haka, Simeone, Barrios, Koke, Gonzalez, Sorloth and Alvarez. As the two teams are coming back out again now onto the field of play. Arsenal back out first. And Atletico just behind, so we'll follow out in a second. Saka there, the Arsenal captain for today in place of injured Martin Odegaard, of course. Arsenal also still without Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus and Noni Madueke. Piero Hincapié was also up, but he's back involved and amongst the bench today. And run you through if we've had any changes. Doesn't look like it though. Christian Norgard there just shaking hands with a few of the Arsenal fans as he comes out, the Arsenal sub. We will see a couple of changes at some stage. Of course, Atletico have a few good players on the bench with the likes of Griezmann and Gallagher and also, Raspadori and Martin, etc. Arsenal have some good players on the bench themselves with Trossard, Moreno, Wanyeri and Christian Norgard in an attacking sense. Dick Gyökeres there in my picture, just setting himself up for the second half as Athletic are going to get us underway in a minute. It's going to be number 19, Alvarez, the ex-Man City man. As Arsenal just finishing their stretches off, Bukayo Saka's taking a few stretches there. And we're back underway for half number 2 in this Champions League game. Here's Barrios now. Now gets it back again from Alvarez, and now it's back to him once more, Barrios. And here is Llorente, and now number 20 there, which is Simeone, and now Alvarez. Trying to catch Arsenal out early on here. Good play from Arsenal there, and Zubimendi, and Eze as well, and now Gyökeres holds up possession and wins a free kick there. There's the squeeze. Fouled by Lenormand. Of course, you're listening to the commentary hub and Storm FM here. And a little bit later on, when it gets to around about 80 or 85 minutes on the clock, I'll give you my player of the match from this game in association with Football Live, our new man of the match sponsors for this season. Here's Martinelli and now Eza. And now Gabriel, Saliba, on to Timber. Now Bukayo Saka there. What can he do here? Still got it, Bukayo Saka. Into the area he goes. He's going to get a shot away, is he? Yes, he does, but it's blocked. But only as far as Saliba. And now Timber, and Timber does well there against the number 17, Henko. And Arsenal have it here through Timber still. He's into the area he goes. Is he going to win the corner? Yes, he is. Good play there from Urian Timber. In fact, good battling from Hanko as well, and also from the centre back, which I think was the number 6 there, Koke, and also a bit of support for him from, I think, one of the others as well, might be Llorente. Because Arsenal are going to have a corner here, see what they can do from the set pieces. Of course, Nicolas Jova is a real set piece specialist, and there's another foul there, another Arsenal man gone down. Urian Timber down this time, but no penalty again. But yeah, as I was saying, Nicolas Jova has been a real vital cog in this Arsenal team, and his Saliba to Saka, but given away. But yeah, Nicolas Jova, a real big part of this Arsenal backroom team, has been a real asset to Arsenal and scored a lot of goals from set pieces, whether that's from Gabriel or Saliba or Timber, Calafiori as well from set pieces, Trossard at the weekend from the corner. A lot of credit has to go to Nicolas Jova for the work that he's been doing over the last couple of seasons in that sense. But nothing came of that delivery there though just now. As it's now back with Oblak in all green for Atletico Madrid. Here's Victor Gyökeres for Arsenal. Now Martinelli, and then back to Oblak once more. And, Arsenal just have it around back with David Raya. 49 plays. A famous 49 for all of you Arsenal fans as well. 49 big number for Arsenal, as I'm sure you know, being the 49 games unbeaten. But yeah, we're into the 49th minute now, and it's a shot on goal there, and it's all off the crossbar from Atletico Madrid. I kind of think who it was. I had the effort. I couldn't quite see from my angle, but had David Raya stranded there, it was Alvarez. In fact, he's been bright for Atletico, and that effort there, not too far away either. Had David Raya stranded. It's a great effort on goal when, had David Raya beaten, it all ends up. Arsenal fortunate that one cannons off the bar and away from danger. A free kick here though for Athletic now. It's going to be Alvarez again. Been involved a lot actually, and Julian Alvarez today. As they want a corner there, but it's not going to be given. It was Hako there. Obviously Hanko, not Hako. He was the man that came in from that delivery from Alvarez, but just went behind for the goal kick. It's Arsenal in possession with Martin Zubimendi and now William Saliba. Now Zubimendi once more. On to Miles Lewis-Skelly now. Wonder whether he'll see the full game out or whether Calafiori will come on at some stage and replace him. Here is Timber now on the right hand side. Now Saliba into Eza. Eza to Saliba. Arsenal just knocking it around here in midfield with Zubimendi in possession. Now Rice. Good play for Arsenal once more. Declan Rice here. Of course, the Gunners beaten semi-finalists last season by eventual winners PSG. A couple of really good performances in there as well, including winning in both legs against Real Madrid. Atletico have got to the final themselves a couple of times and faced Real Madrid and been beaten on both occasions, I believe. But the last time that these two sides met was actually in the semi-finals of the Europa League a couple of years back when Arsenal weren't in the Champions League in 2019. And it was 1-1 in this tie at the Emirates Stadium. Alex Lacazette, the man scoring for Arsenal, and Griezmann scoring. It's not going to be a penalty. I thought it might be a penalty there for a second for Atletico. But yeah, as I say, Griezmann scoring the goal for Athletic to level it up, and then they came out to Spain in the second leg, and Atletico won 1-0 with ex-Chelsea man Diego Costa scoring the winning goal. And of course, they went on to win the Europa Cup through the Europa League that season after knocking Arsenal out as well in the semis. Here is Declan Rice now. Now Timber. Now Saliba. On to Declan Rice again. 52 played now and still yet to have the opening goal. As Gabriel plays it short to Lewis Skelly and then gets it back and then plays it across to the other side to Saliba now. And then Saka. Coming inside for a second and then a bit more central. Now Martinelli. What can Gabriel Martinelli do? Of course, he did have the ball in the back of the net in the first half, but it was disallowed and probably correctly for offside. It is Rice onto Gyökeres. Gyökeres just tried to poke that one past Jan Oblak, but the goalkeeper stood strong and did really well. Arsenal have it now with Martinelli though. On to Mendy, onto Martinelli again. And what can he do? He goes into the area. Good defending from Atletico, and then they're just kind of nonchalantly playing it around at the back and end up getting it clear, but only as far as Timber. And now Arsenal have it through Gabriel. Into Declan Rice. Now Gabriel will get now Gabriel Martinelli, sorry, wins the throw. The Arsenal subs there looking on, including Calafiori and Christian Mosquera. They're out warming up in case they might be needed at some stage. And Moreno there too, and also Calafiori and Hincapié. Trossard on the bench as well. Lewis Skelly here with his throw. Throws it in. Not going to beat the first man though. But Rice has it here and now back to Lewis Skelly who goes down, and Arteta is adamant that's going to be a free kick, but the referee says no and it's going to be a throw to Atletico instead. Sorry. Good play from Mendy there just to find Gyökeres who gets a toe on it, and good goalkeeping from Jan Oblak. Stops the Arsenal man from scoring. This is number 23, Nico now out to the left-hand side for Madrid. Back to Koke, now Barrios now. That Stevenage game finished 5-2 incidentally, for anyone else that was interested in that score in the cup there. If not, and then he goes down there. It's going to be a free kick. Llorente, the man that fouls Martinelli there. Good play from Martinelli as well, up against Llorente. Just too strong for him. And, yeah, really good feet from the Brazilian. Does really well to win the free kick there. I'll have a look and see if we've had any more goals in the Champions League in a second for you. But as things stand, there's no goals in this one yet. Or no goals that have stood anyway. We have had a few opportunities for both sides, and it has been a fairly entertaining watch. It's good to bring this game to you on commentary as well. It's nice to be back covering an Arsenal game. It's Declan Rice now with a free kick. Into the area it goes, and it's in. It's scored by Gabriel Magalhaes. Arsenal have the lead. Just as I was saying, we've not had any goals that stand in this game yet. There it is. Great delivery in from Declan Rice and onto the head of Gabriel Magalhaes. And that's 1-0 to the Gunners. Great delivery, great header. And yeah, just as I said, Arsenal once again from set pieces, very, very strong. A lovely ball in. Declan Rice, pinpoint delivery onto the head of Gabriel Magalhaes. Beats Oblak, and Arsenal have the advantage. Just going to see here if there's an offside though. Let's have a look. Doesn't look like it to me. We'll have to see if there's anything else though. Foul. A bit of a scuffle with Saliba and somebody, but I think we'll be all right with this one. I'd be surprised to see it ruled out. There's a lovely header just directed into the back of the net there from Gabriel Magalhaes. Oblak gets a hand to it as well, but just couldn't do anything to keep it out. As Nick Atleti celebrates there on the touchline. A very happy Arsenal fans over there as well in front of them. Yes, and the goal does stand. It's 1-0 to Arsenal. Gabriel Magalhaes, the goal scorer, 57 played when he put the ball into the back of the net there. But there's a chance here for Atletico to get an equaliser straight away, and it's just wide there in the end from Simeone. Almost caught Arsenal out straight away. They do say that you're most vulnerable after scoring a goal, and that nearly happened there to Arsenal. Good play from the central midfielder. I think it might have been Barrios or Coco, I couldn't quite see. But again, Gabriel Magalhaes there. At one end has given Arsenal the lead, but then just down the other end, he gets a very vital block there to deny Simeone scoring an equaliser. And you can see just how much that means to him as well. He celebrates that one like he did when he scored the goal. That's what I love about him as a player for Arsenal. He loves these moments. He loves these games. He loves winning. And he was celebrating that tackle like he celebrated, when he scored as well. Here is Trentinado, which was Simeone again, and now Alvarez gets a shot away, and it comes off with Lewis Skelly behind for the corner there. And that's what I love about Gabriel. That's what I love about this Arsenal team as a whole, is the fact that they celebrate the fact they're keeping the ball out with the net as much as they do when they score, which is a great thing to see. Referee's just having a word here with a couple of the players. I think it was Jimenez was one of them. Timber as well. There's a corner whipped in, and it's cleared out by Gyökeres, and then only as far as Koke. Gets it back once more. As we're now going to hit the hour mark in approximately 30 seconds from now. Arsenal 1. Atletico Madrid 0 for anyone that's just joining. Gabriel Magalhaes on the score sheet just around about 2.5 minutes or so ago from now. 2.5 minutes ago, to say. The delivery whipped in into the gloves of David Raya. And we are now onto that 60-minute mark now, as I say. Here's Rice, now Timber. Union Timber for Arsenal. Does well. Out he goes to Bukayo Saka. Can they get a second here? Into the area it goes, and it's good defending there from Madrid, who win a free kick. Fouled by Timber on the number 23, Nico. I'm sure we'll probably start to see the benches getting utilised in a moment, especially from the Athletic, with them losing the game now. Yeah, as I speak, there is going to be a couple of changes for the visitors there. And one of them is number 10, which is coming on. That's going to be Conor Gallagher as well. There's 3 subs there coming on for Atletico. All in one go now. I'll run you through those in a second when we get it. There's a throw in for Llorente in the meantime, and now Lenormand, and then that's Jimenez. Back to Oblak. Into Barrios there from Koke. And now that's with Simeone. And Madrid just playing it around here in the centre of the park, looking to break Arsenal down. Been a strong defensive performance from Arsenal once again so far. There's a header on goal, and it's just wide, in fact, from Madrid there. And it's number 20, Simeone, that played it on to the number 14, Llorente. And his delivery, great delivery into the area. And it's just headed wide by the number 17, Hanko. in the end there. As we know, it's going to get these substitutions as well. So I'll run you through those once we know. Conor Gallagher is one that's on. So we have Gallagher that's on. But we're not quite finished with the subs as of yet. We've still got one more to go, and then I'll tell you the full list of the changes. So Gallagher is on. He is, of course, ex-Chelsea. Come on, help me out here, team. Help me out here. On the screen there in front of me. That's telling me the available sub. It's not telling me who's actually come on for who as of yet. As David Reyes takes the goal kick here. Conor Gallagher was one that's come on, and he's just headed the ball there now. But I'll have a quick look here for you. Referee thinks there's no free kick there against Gabriel. I'll tell you those subs in a matter of seconds. So the substitutes that have just come on were Jimenez was replaced by Baena. We also had Rigeri come on for Gonzalez. And we also had Conor Gallagher come on, as I mentioned. He replaced Koke. And that was the 4 subs there for Madrid. As Arsenal have it here through Martinelli, and that's 2. It's the Gunners on score sheet once again. It's that man, Gabriel Martinelli. Christo is finishing off writing down the substitutes there, who's made the way onto the field for Atletico Madrid. Arsenal go and grab the second, and it's Gabriel Martinelli who scores once again in the Champions League this season. The guys are on absolute fire in this competition. Scored in game week 1 and game week 2. Scored in the first half, but it was disallowed for offside. This one will stand. And it's Arsenal 2, Atletico Madrid 0 as we speak now. And it's the 2 Gabriels on the score sheet, Magalhaes and Martinelli. Good play from Lewis Kelly there. Found himself in acres of space. Plays it onto Martinelli. Does well. Just opens his body up and puts that into the bottom corner past Oblak. And Arsenal now in a commanding 2-0 lead. It's a beautiful strike as well. Lovely celebration there with Mikel Arteta as well, just patting the badge of Gabriel Heinze. There's a chance here for Arsenal now with Eza. Now Martinelli again. Given away there, and Atletico have it here now with number 19 Alvarez is given away. Now Martinelli again. Conor Gallagher does well there. In fact, it wasn't the Gallagher, it was Lorente, I should say. .65 played, and it's still 2-0 to Arsenal. Really good play so far. 2 Brazilian, 2 Gabbies, 2 goals. Absolutely right. And let's see whether we can add to that as well in the closing 24 minutes or so of this game. Here's Eza. Now Timber. Now Saka. Timber to Saliba there. Now Martin Zubimendi. On to Emerick Eza. Zubimendi to Lewis Kelly. Does well to find Zubimendi, and he looks for Martinelli again. Good delivery into the area. Finds Eza. Now Gyökeres. And it's in. It's free. It's Victor Gyökeres this time on the score sheet for the Gunners. He's grabbed himself his goal. Gunners are now well and truly in the driving seat. Arsenal 3, Atletico Madrid 0. Victor Gyökeres, the latest man on the score sheet. And that's what I was saying earlier as well about this Arsenal side. Absolutely frying right now. Victor Gyökeres grabbing himself his goal. Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Magalhaes also on the score sheet too. And this Arsenal side right now are in a real rich vein of form, really flowing with confidence, playing some beautiful football. And it's lovely to see this side playing so well and, looking to compete on all fronts. Obviously FA Cup still to come. Got Brighton in the Carabao next week, sitting pretty top of the Premier League, scoring goals in this competition as well, keeping clean sheets. It's a lovely time for Arsenal Football Club right now. There's a beautiful goal as well. There's a man down for Atletico, but I don't think it's a foul. I think it's just a bit of an unfortunate one for them. But Victor Gyökeres does his celebration, which we'll probably see a bit more this season. And Arsenal now well and truly in control by 3-0 with Gyökeres out on the 67th minute with the latest of the goal. And Atletico, they almost got caught out again. Eze almost got in, and then it was Oblak. Just had to put that one out of play for an Arsenal throw. Now Zubimendi and now William Saliba. Now Declan Rice. Saliba, Gabriel, Libaskelly, all involved. Martinelli. Every Arsenal player wants a touch right now, and here's Victor Gyökeres, who's just grabbed that first. Going to get a delivery into the box and headed clear from Llorente. Out of play for. It's going to be an Arsenal throw, I think, though. Victor Gyökeres just in front of me there. Looks very happy with himself after that goal. And Mikel Arteta on the sideline was delighted to see him score too, after investing all the money into him in the summer. It's corner now for Declan Rice. Been told to move the ball a second, which he has done. There's a good delivery in from Declan Rice. And there's the fourth. It's Victor Gyökeres once again. And he is absolutely delighted with that one. He's over the moon, is Victor Gyökeres. And there's another set-piece goal for Arsenal. Victor Gyökeres, the man on the end of it in the end. But the Gunners are cruising now. This could be any number come the end of this game. If Atletico don't get their act together, it's 4-0 with still about 20 to play. And a real strong second half performance from the Gunners. We'll see who got the assist on that one as well. It's a good delivery in from the corner. Those Atletico Madrid fans that were very lively earlier on and very happy early on and loving life are now a bit more glum. It was Gabriel Magalhaes that got the assist for that goal there. For Victor Gyökeres, his second of the game. It's a good header as well, just to guide it across to Gyökeres, and then he just knees it over the line. As Arsenal still awaiting to see where that goal stands, I think, from the VAR. Griezmann's just coming on there for Atletico as well. And also, so Simeone's off and Sorloth is off. Gabriel Magalhaes is coming off for the Gunners as well. And he's going to be replaced by, I'll run you through these. It's Norgard's also coming on there. There's a whole host of subs now. Mascara for Gabriel. Eze is off. And he's replaced by Wanyeri. Norgard on as well. In fact, is it or no? Yes, it's Zubamendi off for Christian Norgard. So that was the 3 subs for Arsenal. The 2 for Atletico, as I mentioned. Sorloth was off for Griezmann. And also there's one more sub in there too, which I'll have to check quickly. So they've used all 5 now. Have Atletico. Arsenal still got 2 more changes to make if they want to. There's Armada on as well. There's the other sub. So that's all of these subs now for the away side made. Arsenal still have 1 opportunity and 2 subs available. Sorry, 2 opportunities and 2 subs available, I should say. And it's now number 8, Barrios. Possession. Griezmann back to Barrios again. I know obviously Griezmann would have wanted to play in this game, being the player that he is. I know he'll obviously want to have an impact as well, but coming on at 4-0 down is going to have a real task on his hand there. Those Madrid fans are still trying their best to G up their side, but I think the game is well and truly behind them at this point, unless they can get a couple of goals quick. Here's Rice now. Battles well and now plays it to Gyökeres, who's fouled by Norman, is he? No? Yes, he is. The Norman fouls Victor Gyökeres. I think Victor Gyökeres actually had a very, very good game as well. Take the 2 goals out of it. He's held up the ball very, very well. Put others into play. The 2 goals are a bonus for him, but I think Victor Gyökeres has had a really impressive game today for Arsenal. When you look at it, very impressed by his performance. And certainly will be a contender for player of the match, that's for sure. Here's Rice, now Timber. Gives it away to number 19, Alvarez. Put Griezmann in support, and he's going to find him as well. Good play there from Martinelli. In fact, it wasn't Griezmann, it was Conor Gallagher. Now it's the number 11. Well, I couldn't quite see who that was, but tidied up in the end by Arsenal and away from any danger by substitute Christian Mosquera. The number 11, incidentally, was, I can find it, one of the substitutes. I think it might have been Almada. It was. And they have it now. Do Atletico Madrid again. Here's Griezmann. Good play there from Bukayo Saka. Now Norgard. Gyökeres, Martinelli, Gyökeres. Here's Lewis Skelly. That second goal, incidentally, was Lewis Skelly finding himself in central midfield, which is where he came through the Arsenal Academy in that position as well. So you will find him a lot in that position where he cuts inside from the left-hand side into the centre of the park there. And, that was a real feature in that Arsenal second goal, which was scored by Gabriel Martinelli. The run from Lewis Skelly there, where you find him in that central midfield role and just moving forward and then playing the ball through to Martinelli. So, Calafiori does that very well as well. But between the two of them, that's another real positive for Arsenal and a real asset they use really well. There's a throw here for Atletico now, which Conor Gallagher is going to leave. And he gets it though from the throw-in, which I think was from Hanko, I think. Here's 14, Llorente now. Now Griezmann. Here's Alvarez. See whether they can get themselves a goal back here Atletico, and they couldn't. It was a good bit of play though when it was Almada, but comfortable in the end for David Raya. Had a bit more to do in this game, but still not an awful lot really when you look at the level of opponent. As David Raya is just taking his time now, and they're going to knock it out to Christian Mosquera. Back to David Raya again. There was that moment in the first half where he almost caught Arsenal out and almost gave away a goal, but nothing came from that in the end. Here's Victor Gyökeres now. Good play from Atletico there. It was the Normans, well defended. 77 played. It's Arsenal 4, Atletico Madrid 0. Here's Bukayo Saka. Now Timber. Now Ethan Nwaneri. Now Christian Norgard. Declan Rice. And William Saliba. And now Mosquera. Gives Arsenal a good opportunity to rest some players here in this position, with Palace coming up at the Emirates at the weekend. I'm sure we might even see Bukayo Saka make way shortly, or Victor Gyökeres, or both, or potentially Gabriel Martinelli, because Arsenal have got no real need to keep these players on the pitch when they're in control as they are. And with the Palace game coming up on Sunday afternoon, gives Arsenal a real chance to rotate and rest if some of these players need be. As I mentioned before, Atletico were in really good form up until this point too, and were unbeaten in 7, Arsenal unbeaten in 8 in all comps. We're into the 79th minute now. Arsenal well and truly in control. Actually, well and truly in control against Spanish sides as a whole as well. Won the last 6 Champions League matches against Spanish sides, and it looks well and truly like it's going to be 7. Only losing once from 14 against Spanish visitors, with drawing 5 and winning 8. So this scoreline kind of goes with the record books in that sense. Atletico themselves have only won once against English sides before today, losing 6 of those, drawing 2. So as I say, it very much goes with the records, but then against it, this scoreline so far. Declan Rice's free kick there, and it's headed away. There's a free kick in there as the Atletico Madrid man goes down, holding his head. Good defender from Hanko. Yeah, as I say, Atletico Madrid were without a win in group stages in previous 9 against EPL sides. Arsenal, last season semi-finalists, runners-up previously many years ago in this competition as well, in 2006 against Barcelona. Arsenal have been in around the Champions League latter stages at times, but this season, I'm sure Mikel Arteta will want to go one step further and win the whole competition, which I can potentially see them doing if they keep up this rich vein of form that they're currently in right now. The foul there on Martinelli by Alvarez. Just showing this Alvarez chance just now when he hit the crossbar earlier on. That was a beautiful effort and had David Raya stranded, and then just showing some of the goals here now. 2 goals for Gabriel Magalhaes and Gabriel Martinelli, and then the 2 Victor Gyökeres goals as well. Just showing those. All lovely bits of play. And Victor Gyökeres was very happy when the second one went in. Going to be a corner now for Atleti. Are they going to get themselves a goal or consolation? Have to wait and see, as Arsenal are getting 2 final subs ready. It's going to be Miguel Moreno and Ben White that are coming on. And Victor Gyökeres is not going to get to see the match ball today. There's no hat-trick for Victor Gyökeres. Moreno's coming on for him, and Ben White is coming on for Jurriën Timber at right fullback. But Victor Gyökeres, a fantastic performance from him. And I think whilst he's coming off as well, it's a good opportunity for me to give my player of the match with 8 minutes to go. And I think I'm going to give it to Victor Gyökeres as well for his overall performance today. I think he's played really, really well, held up the ball very well, put others into play nicely, got himself a couple of goals. And I think that's going to do him the world of good for his confidence. So I'm going to give my player of the match, sponsored by Football Live, to the Arsenal 14, Victor Gyökeres, who's going to come away with that award today. Well done to him. There were a few other candidates as well. Gabriel Martinelli was also in the mix. But Saka's also done well, and here's Martinelli again for Arsenal. Rice has played well. But, yeah, going to give it to Gyökeres. Here's Saka. It's a shot away disease. Well defended and blocked in the end. Now with Llorente. Now Gallagher, and now that's Alvarez. 83 played. Arsenal 4. Atletico Madrid 0. Here's Julian Alvarez now on to Almada. There's a chance here for Conor Gallagher. He's in, and he's put that one wide. That was the best opportunity for a while for Atletico Madrid. And Conor Gallagher was in, and he's put it wide. I think there's a free kick in the end anyway, so I don't think it would have stood. But a good build-up play from Atletico. And Conor Gallagher just puts that one wide of David Raya's goal. I don't know how much he knew about that. But, he got a glove on it, in fact. He turned that one behind for what would have been a corner. So, actually, the Arsenal goalkeeper did really well there to get a hand on that. But there's a free kick in the build-up anyway. Now, Leverkusen 2, PSG 6, by the way. In one of these other games. I'll run you through a full comprehensive list of scores before I call it a night on this commentary. Here's the number 11 now. Almada. Now Llorente, now Almada again. Now that's with Barrios. And just playing it around here now. Atletico trying to get the ball forward to Conor Gallagher again. And he wins a corner there with 5 minutes to play. Looks very much like Arsenal could potentially be keeping their 10th clean sheet in the Champions League in the last 14, which is a formidable record in itself. I'm sure Atletico want to get themselves a consolation at very least, though. Get themselves something out of the game and something for their fans to celebrate, as that delivery was whipped in and cleared off the line in the end by William Saliba. There's a chance here for Griezmann, and it's just put wide. But it's better from Madrid that time around. Was it Ethan Manieri that even got to the end? Yeah, it was Ethan Manieri that hits it off the line. In fact, not Saliba. Good play from the Hale End Academy style up there to get it clear from danger. To keep that clean sheet mentality for Arsenal as well. We're now coming up to the close of this game. Arsenal 4, Atletico Madrid 0. Gabriel Magalhaes, Gabriel Martinelli, and a brace from my player of the match, Victor Gyökeres. The scoreline, the scoreline, I should say, is Martinelli now. Good play from Almada in the free kick. Let's see whether this is anything happening from here. Lucky short. In fact, Lorente too, and then Griezmann gets it there as well, and now Conor Gallagher, sorry, and Lenormand as well. Just kind of plays it into midfield to Barrios there and Lorente, and then across to the back. Sorry, across the back once more. As Arsenal letting Madrid have possession here and have the ball. Here is the substitute Almada. Does well to find Hanko there on the left hand side, I think it is. It's a delivery into the area, but seen away from danger by Miles Lewis Skelly. Going to get to see the full 90 as well as Lewis Skelly's there and played well. It was a good game. I'm sure that won't do his international chances any harm. With Thomas Tuchel watching on, and I'm sure he'll be impressed with the left fullback today for Arsenal. And obviously he's an option that Tuchel will want to take to the World Cup if he's playing regularly and playing well. Alongside other Arsenal players in the likes of Eze and Sacco as well. Madueke might well be back by then and playing well, you never know. In fact, Gabriel Jesus is going to be back earlier as well for Arsenal. I heard that news earlier on. He should be back in the start of next year, December, January kind of time, is what I heard. So, good news for Arsenal fans there that his schedule has been cut short in terms of the time he's going to be out for. Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Magalhaes as well. I'm sure we'll be going to the World Cup with Brazil. Victor Gyökeres will want to go with Sweden. Of course, Alex Isak as well, the Liverpool forward. Here's Timber. In fact, not Timber. Timber's not. It was Ranieri, I should say. Timber that made way a little while ago for Ben White with Moreno and then Ethan Ranieri. But Timber himself will want to go with the Netherlands, of course, on international duty, alongside his brother. Yes, Declan Rice now. Another one that want to go with England as well. And now Martinelli. Now Declan Rice again. Here is Bukayo Saka into 3 minutes of additional time here. Here's Ranieri with Ben White as well, and then Mosquera with Skelly as well. David Raya has the ball here now and then plays it on to Ben White out on the right hand side, but it goes out of play for a throw. We've had 30 seconds of the 3 minutes, and Arsenal comfortable here at 4-0. Gunners making it 3 from 3 in this competition. Atletico are 1 win, 1 loss, and another loss here as well. If this one sees its way through to conclusion and it stays 4-0, or Arsenal get a 5th or anything like that, it's going to be another loss for Madrid. And Arteta as well and truly had the beating of his Spanish counterpart side, and obviously with Simeone in this half as well. If you're interested in something a little bit different on the channels, there's going to be a bit of paranormal stuff coming out on Paul's channel, which I think is Wolf. I'll get the name of that one and let you know shortly, but if you keep an eye out across that one for paranormal activity and paranormal ongoings, it's going to come out at 2 a.m. UK time. get the full name for that one for you shortly, though. Here's Ethan Wanyeri, looking to make it 5 for Arsenal. Here is Christian Norgard. Now Wanyeri again. Moreno. Wanyeri gets a shot away. Comfortable for Oblak. Of course, Arsenal back in action in midweek next week as well against Brighton in the League Cup. And November sees Arsenal travel to Burnley, Slavia Prague, Sunderland as well before the North London derby and a game against Bayern Munich and Chelsea. A busy period for Arsenal. And obviously then after the Chelsea game as well, the start of December, sees Brentford come to the Emirates and Arsenal go to Villa. And then back in action in this competition against Club Brugge as well on December the 10th. And there's full time. It's Arsenal 4, Atletico Madrid 0. Goals from Gabriel Magalhaes, Gabriel Martinelli, and a brace from Victor Gyökeres too. My player of the match. A comprehensive and convincing victory for Arsenal there in the end. Really strong, solid, dominant performance. And Arsenal very, very happy with that one. And rightly so as well. Winning that one by 4-0. Another clean sheet for Arsenal. And a real strong performance there. I'll run you through a few of these other scores before we come off line too. But real strong, convincing win there for Arsenal. And Mikel Arteta will be more than satisfied with that one, as you'd imagine. So I was going to have a quick look here for you before I run you through these Champions League scores. The name of Paul's channel for you. It's Wolf Paranormal is Paul's channel, and alongside Holly and a couple of others on that one. So do give that a subscription, and he will be on a little bit later on this evening or this morning UK time, 2 a.m. UK time. If you want to find out or get or know anything about paranormal activity, or want to have a bit of an input, or a bit of a say on that, then do check out Paul's channel. Of course, we've got more action coming out on the commentary hub in the next few days as well, with Russ bringing action between Sheffield Wednesday and Middlesbrough. Paul himself is going to bring Leeds and West Ham from the Premier League on Friday. So if you want to hear Paul, but you're not really interested too much in the paranormal side of things, then you can grab the commentary hub commentary on Friday night. But I've been Mike Harniman here on Storm FM, the commentary hub, and all of the partner channels. Hopefully you've enjoyed this coverage today. And before I call it a night, I'm going to run you through some of these scores from the Champions League, and then I'll say my goodbyes. Earlier on, it was Barcelona 6, Olympiacos 1, as I mentioned earlier, with Fermin Lopez grabbing a hat-trick, Marcus Rashford grabbing a brace, and Yamal also scoring 2. Scoring 1-2, I should say. And then Cairo 0, Paphos 0, Arsenal 4, Atletico 0. It was Leverkusen 2. Are we ready, guys? PSG 7. Yep, you heard me correctly. It was a brace in there for Desiree Doué. So I'll run you through the scores. It was Pacho, then there was a couple of red cards for Zabanai and Andrick. A penalty for Alex Garcia. Then Desiree Doué got himself a brace. Kvaratskhelia scored. Mendes scored. Dembele scored. Vitinha scored. Garcia scored a consolation as well for Leverkusen in that one. Copenhagen lost 4-2 to Dortmund. Anton scored an own goal. And Dayosson for Copenhagen. Nemecha got a brace for Dortmund. And Ben Sabini and Fabio Silva on the score sheet too. Newcastle won 3-0 against Benfica. Anthony Gordon on the score sheet and a brace for Harvey Barnes. PSV won 6-2 against Napoli. Bungiona getting And own goal, Sabari getting 1, Mann getting 2, Pepe getting 1, and Drojac getting 1, and McTominay got 2 for Napoli. We also saw Luca red carded. AC Milan, Inter Milan, I should say, won 4-0 as well in our Union SG with Dumfries, Martinez, Kalanoglu, and Esposito on the score sheet. And Man City won 2-0 against Villarreal with Haaland and Silva on the score sheet for them. Sheffield United turned it around. They won 3-1 at Blackburn in the end in the Championship. Derby 1, Norwich 0, Hull 2, Leicester 1, Ipswich 0, Charlton 3, Millwall 2, Stoke 0, Portsmouth 1, Coventry 2, Preston 0, Birmingham 1, and Bristol City 3, Southampton 1. Swindon 2, Notts County 2 in League 2, Reading 1, Northampton 0 in League 1 as well. And from the EFL Trophy, there was one game which I'm going to mention to you. Stevenage 5, Crystal Palace 2. Lewis Orford making his debut for Stevenage in that one on loan from West Ham. Got himself an assist and a goal and 2 assists, I should say. Phoenix Patterson also got himself a couple of goals in that one, as the Borough were victorious 5-2, with Jovan Malcolm also scoring. And that's probably about all I'm going to run you through in terms of scores. There is absolutely loads, but I've covered a lot of them. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in on game week 3 of the Champions League. You've been listening to Mike Harniman's alternative coverage on the Commentary Hub. Arsenal victorious by 4-0, and it's Victor Gyökeres grabbing himself a brace. Gabriel Magalhaes and Gabriel Martinelli on the score sheet. It's Crystal Palace up next for the Gunners in the Premier League, and flying high at this moment in time as well, sitting pretty at the top of the league in the Premier League, doing really well in this competition. Is this year going to be a year of success for Mikel Arteta, or will it? Or will Arsenal fall off once again? Tune into the Commentary Hub throughout the season to find out how it all pans out. But this one's a really good win for Arsenal, a real positive performance, and another clean sheet, more goals from set pieces as well. Arsenal gunning for success this season. Will it come? We'll have to wait and see. Thank you for listening to the Commentary Hub and Storm FM. I'll be back very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.